We haven't scored anything. What makes anyone think that we're going to pick up points anytime soon from any of the remaining 5 games? It looks done, geezer. It looks like we're not going to finish in the top 10, and let alone qualify for the Champions League. If you're a Chelsea fan, this Blueco takeover has completely stripped the identity of Chelsea. They've run the club into the ground. They've sold the women's team. They've sold the hotel to buy average young players.
Want to stand out like the freestyle pros? Then Premier Baller was built for you. 120 elite level skills to learn and master. Professional step-by-step training created by top UK freestyler Jay Rosa. This is an elite online academy for serious ballers. 10% off your first month right now with the code BALLER10. Your game is about to change. The race for the top 5 looks done. Van Dijk, 100th minute winner against Everton. Their hold over Everton, this voodoo hold, vice-like grip that Liverpool have over Everton, continues in the Merseyside Derby. They get a winner in the 100th minute. That was after Chelsea lose at home again. This is now 4 straight losses in the Premier League, and they lose to fellow top 5 contenders, Manchester United, 1-0. This basically seals Chelsea's fate, in my opinion. The gap is now massive. Marky Mark is here, our resident Chelsea fan. We'll walk through that. We'll walk through what that means for Chelsea potentially next season. But Mark, Everton-Liverpool is such a funny game. I know you lost at home to United, and we'll come on to that. But Everton, this was a game, that everyone, even Liverpool fans, are thinking, I think Everton might finally beat us. I think we're going to drop points in this one. But you always have that funny feeling when it comes to Liverpool-Everton. Always. And that funny feeling is, no matter how shit Liverpool are, no matter how crusty and crummy and terrible Liverpool Football Club are, one thing you can always bet on is Liverpool will always come out on top against Everton. And they've done it again. 100th minute winner, and it's that man Van Dijk.
I mean, that is that man Van Dijk, and Salah got his goal. I mean, I saw it when Cody Gakpo crossed the ball, and I was like, oh my God, is Salah going to do it? And he did it. And then the 100th minute, I mean, well, they are now, 7 points ahead of Chelsea, who are now in 6. And then you have Aston Villa, and then you've got Man United on 58 points. I mean, that looks like set in stone. It's over. It is over. If you're a Chelsea fan, this Blueco takeover has completely stripped the identity of Chelsea. They've run the club into the ground. They've sold the women's team. They've sold the hotel to buy average young players. Garnacho, what the hell is that? He is terrible. Oh my gosh, they're looking to sell him in the summer. He was supposed to be one of those players that you purchase. If he does well, we keep him. And looks like a good buy. If he doesn't do well, because he's young, we'll sell him on for a profit. No one's going to pay that. The money that they're going to be looking to sell him at. It's over. The club is run down. It's all over the place. And they've hired Liam Rosenior, who is an absolute crappiest manager I've ever seen. Probably worse than Tudor, worse than Postecoglou in recent times. It's not just 4 losses, bro. It's 4 losses without scoring a goal. That's the worst run since 1912.
Isn't that when the Titanic sank?
Yes, exactly. That's the best start of the day. Fucking hell. It's an absolute joke.
Fact checked on that, but Mark, whilst you not to cut you off, but I thought it's quite interesting. You've got it's quite stark. You've got 13 wins. I don't think I've ever seen Chelsea this bad. I know you finished 12th a couple of seasons ago, but you bounced back.
No.
But pre-Roman era, Chelsea was still a top club. And 13 wins, just for context, that's the same as Brentford, the same as Everton, the same as Fulham, who are down in 12th. I mean, it's pretty shoddy reading, and it's crumbling right in front of our very eyes, right?
What's a worse word than grim? Don't tell me. Whatever it is, that's the fucking word that it is. Because now, you said it, we talked a little bit off air, we're only 2 or 3 points away from the teams behind us, and there's like 6, 7 teams. We can lose. Imagine they all win the next game. We lose, we're out of the top 10.
Dude, they're level with you. So Brentford and Bournemouth in 7th and 8th are level with you. Brighton and Everton are a point back. Sunderland are an extra point back. And Fulham are a further point back. There's 3 points separating you in 6th from Fulham in 12th. Yeah, and I don't really fancy you guys winning many of your remaining games. Like your next game.
Of course, look at the history. Look at the last few games. We've lost so many games. We haven't scored anything. What makes anyone think that we're going to pick up points anytime soon from any of the remaining 5 games? It looks dumb, geezer. It looks like we're not going to finish in the top 10, and let alone qualify for the Champions League. It's fucking over. It is over. There's one bright spark.
You think this could spark a change?
Which I think, because I'm very eager. Right, so Reece James recently signed the contract, 6 years. One of the best players in the Premier League. Could probably play in any team, right? He wants to stay. Okay, he's Chelsea blood through and through. But something must have happened when he sat down. Now, there are clear evidence that he has sat down with the owners. There's clear evidence that Cole Palmer, because Cole Palmer's come out and said, I've sat down with the owners and I'm happy at Chelsea. You look at Caicedo, he signed a new deal, was about to sign a new deal. Why are these types of players who a lot of people can class as world class or excellent players, let's just say, right? Why are they saying that, committing to Chelsea? Because they've sat down with the board, right? And they've had discussions. And to give them a little bit of hope, the rumor is that they're signing the contracts because there's going to be a change of strategy in the summer where they're going to be bringing in more experienced players to balance out the team. Of course, this is all ifs and buts. I get that. But you also have to understand, if Chelsea don't make Champions League, look, this season we've recorded losses of 600 million. The year before, losses of 200 to 400 million is about £1 billion in losses average, give or take. You have Blue Co, part of a consortium where there's other investors. They are not going to be happy. You wrap this up, you put this all together, and I'm hoping and I'm expecting a change in the structure on how the club is run in the summer. We're not going to make Champions League. Bringing in better players is going to be difficult. Even getting players to stay, Enzos and things like that, is going to be difficult. They all want to play Champions League. But the only thing, as I said, is I want to see how this summer pans out. They're going to be making signings. They're going to be selling They're selling players. Let's see who they're going to be selling and who they're going to be bringing in. Of course, all depends on Champions League. But right now, it is grim. It is over. It looks like everything, the identity is stripped. It just looks like an absolute shambles, this club. And I think that's what Judge Mo said. Mark, we're not even talking about you. You don't want to talk about Chelsea because you just think it's a shambles. And I said it months ago. We are not going to make Champions League. And everyone's like, you need to have a little bit more, hope on your team. You need to be a little bit more positive. I'm not positive. I am realistic. Yeah, it's a shambles. There's so much things that need to change. We need a sporting director, as I said to you on the show, and he has full control of how the club is run. You can have a young team, but he needs to bring in an experienced manager. He needs to bring experienced players. He needs to get rid of the deadwood because there's still so many players in the B squad or the bomb squad. He needs to get these players off our books. Yeah, because you're just wasting money on them, playing with like 20-year-olds. But it's over. This season is finished.
You need a seismic shift. Yeah, the season's definitely done. It's dead.
This fucking over.
The shift has to be, because Blue Co and Clear Lake, they're not going anywhere, right? Fundamentally, they have to change their model. They have to rip it out from its roots.
They have to.
And start again. And maybe actually you finishing 10th or 11th might represent your best chance, as you said before, of
That's
that
crazy,
happening,
yes.
dude. But I think that's maybe what you need. They have to rip it out, Mark. If they don't rip this out, they're going to rip your club out. They're going to rip the soul out of your club. It's already gone.
The soul's gone.
I think if, when Spurs get relegated, like, you're going to become the laughingstock of the big six, right? This is, and that's not me taking jabs. That's basically where Clear Lake and Blue Co are taking you. You got to change the structure. Now, the only way, these protests and all of this stuff, I don't know how much difference that's going to make. The biggest thing that's going to speak is people not showing up to the games and you finishing 10th or 11th, because Blue Co and Clear can't afford you to finish 10th or 11th. That's kind of what you need,
Chelsea,
man. And it has to be a complete restructure of how you fucking operate.
Yeah, no, this is just plain obvious. At this moment in time, the word that I would use to describe Chelsea is, which I'm sure all other fans would admit, is Chelsea at this point are irrelevant. Yeah, irrelevant, pathetic. And it is a shame. It really is a shame. It looks like top 5 is secured. How are you guys feeling as Chelsea fans? Like and subscribe. We'll see you lot in the next one. Peace.